from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there, good evening. Welcome to the National News Broadcast. I am Niket Karunaratne, together with Natalia Veeravardhana. Distribution of litro gas will be carried out as usual from next Saturday. The police apprehends 49,000 litres of petrol and diesel concealed with the purpose of selling at a higher price. The Prime Minister informs the Reuters news service that expenditures will be minimised while granting relief. Attention on commencing language and vocational training programmes targeting foreign jobs. The Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna says process of the amendment of the 21st Constitution has commenced. The SJB reiterates the need for political changes in order to restore the economy. A new political alliance by the independent group. 2 suspects, including businessman Muhammad Ibrahim, have been granted bail over charges on the Easter attack. 21 persons killed in a shooting incident at a US school. On to those and other stories in detail now. The Litro Gas company says that gas distribution will not be conducted until next Friday. So the chairman of the company, engineer Vijita Herath, informs that gas distribution will commence as usual from next Saturday.
And the payments have been finalized for 2 shiploads of gas. And the Litro company says one of these ships is scheduled to arrive in the island by next Friday. Minister Kanchana Wijesekara says that the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation has informed through an advertisement published 3 weeks ago regarding the supply of petroleum products by any person to submit their proposals. He added that 67 proposals have been received and evaluated by a technical committee and 39 proposals have been shortlisted. A Twitter message released by the minister says any person interested in the supply of products is still able to provide proposals to the Ministry of Power or the CPC within the next 48 hours. The message adds that the President and the Prime Minister have requested for the assistance of oil-producing countries and receiving of loans. The Petroleum Tank Owners Association says that the IGP has instructed in writing to the police stations to provide protection to the petroleum bowsers. Co-Secretary of the Petroleum Tank Owners Association, D.V. Shanta Silva, said that the IGP has been enlightened on the issue at the IGP's office last evening. All police stations have been informed in writing on providing security to the petroleum tanks. A senior DIG has been appointed to look into the issue. This co-secretary of the association has requested all concerned not to create unnecessary impact on filling stations. He added that they came to know this morning that 40 filling stations have been closed down. He also said that this is the outcome of activities of an organized gang. Issuing of fuel by several filling stations around the Kalutara town has recommenced this morning. Our correspondent says despite persisting long queues, the police have mediated to give priority to parents of the candidates sitting for the GCE O-level examination. A 41-year-old person travelling in a 3-wheeler with 7 barrels of petrol has been arrested at the Udunura road block in Badulla. The suspect was reported to have told the police that plans have been made to carry the fuel stock purchased in Haputale to Uva Ketavela with the aim of reselling at a higher price. The Vallavaya police station has been successful in apprehending 7 persons who had attempted to sell fuel at a higher price. 197 litres of diesel and 92 litres of petrol and 15 litres of kerosene found in their possession. The police says that raids are being conducted continuously to arrest persons engaged in fuel racketeering. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Thalduwa said that 137 suspects have so far been arrested in 429 raids carried out throughout the island. More than 27,000 litres of petrol and 22,000 litres of diesel have been apprehended in the operations. More than 20,000 litres of kerosene oil have also been recovered in the raids. The police say any information relating to hoarding of fuel with the objective of receiving under profits should be reported to the telephone numbers 118-1997 and 119. 2 persons who have been seriously injured in a clash at the Valimada Cooperative Filling Station have been admitted to the Valimada Base Hospital. Trade Association of the Capital Special Trade Centre says a problem has arisen over the selling of upcountry vegetables due to higher increases in the price of fuel.
The government has taken measures to restrict the convening of staff for duty reporting at state institutions with the intention of minimizing government expenditure by taking into consideration the existing shortage in resources. A public administration circular in this connection was released this afternoon. A communique under the signature of Secretary to the Ministry of Public Administration, Home Affairs, Provincial Councils and Local Government says facts have been presented by numerous sectors regarding difficulties encountered by the government officials in reporting for duties. It has been pointed out that the problems faced in this regard include inability over the procurement of adequate quantities of fuel and inappropriate maintenance of common and private transportation services. The media release also says that during this difficult period, the government expenditures on fuel, electricity and water will have to be curtailed. Attention has been focused on this issue at the Cabinet meeting on the 23rd of this month. The heads of institutions have been informed over the preparation of an appropriate program regarding calling for duties of only a minimum number of officials sufficient to maintain a continuous public service until further notice. The Secretary of the Ministry of Public Administration also informed the relevant officials to focus attention on the previous requests over management of state expenditure and careful usage of fuel and electricity. The communique points out that the restrictions should not become an obstruction for the conducting of essential government services.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe was sworn in the ministerial portfolio of Finance, Economic Stabilization and National Policy before President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The swearing-in ceremony took place at the President's house in Fort Colombo this morning. President's Secretary Gamini Senarath was also present on this occasion. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe says cutting back of expenses will be carried out in the maximum extent, while at the same time providing relief.
The Prime Minister, in an interview with the Reuters news agency, said that his main expectation is to present an interim budget. Sri Lanka's current economic crisis is a topic that has come under extensive attention in the international media.
Cutting down expenditure, cutting to the bone where possible. We know it's going to be difficult, that's why we are looking at relief, at least a 2-year relief program. There will be interim budget. We cut off all the development work and put more money in. One is to ensure that we can pay the higher interest rates, and secondly to ensure that there is more money for the affected people. But that alone won't do. We have no rupee revenue, and now we have to print another trillion rupees. So you can see how inflation is will have an impact.
Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe instructs the Ministry of Health to immediately submit a report on the essential drugs in Sri Lanka and the drugs which are in short supply.
The instructions were directed by the Prime Minister during a meeting held at the Prime Minister's office. The meeting was called to discuss short-term and medium-term solutions to the current drug crisis due to the current economic crisis. Prime Minister Wickremesinghe said following negotiations with India, an agreement has been reached to pay back the loan in Sri Lankan rupees due to the lack of dollars for the purchase of $200 million worth of medicines received under the Indian loan facility. Minister Keliya Rambukwella said that a continuous 90-day operation in all emergency operating theatres in the country will be maintained, with the stock of medicines and anaesthetics expected to be received by the French government tomorrow. An independent committee headed by Minister Rambukwella has been appointed to amend the Drug Regulatory Authority Act to proceed with prompt purchases of drugs. It was revealed that a shortage of 76 essential medicines is prevalent at present, while the government is yet to pay local pharmaceutical suppliers 33 billion rupees in arrears.
The World Bank states that new financing will not be offered to Sri Lanka until an adequate macroeconomic policy framework is in place.
The Global Financing Agency has indicated that appropriate policies should be adopted to restore economic stability and broad-based growth.
The World Bank has issued a statement based on media reports over the support extended by the agency to Sri Lanka. Accordingly, the statement has indicated that the media reports have inaccurately stated that the World Bank is planning support for Sri Lanka in the form of a bridge loan or new loan commitments, among other incorrect assertions. The World Bank has further indicated that the agency is concerned for the people of Sri Lanka and are working in coordination with the IMF and other development partners in advising on appropriate policies to restore economic stability and broad-based growth. Until an adequate macroeconomic policy framework is in place, the World Bank has said that the agency has no plans to offer new financing to Sri Lanka. The World Bank has also pointed out that the agency is currently repurposing resources from previously approved projects to help the government with essential medicines. The agency has further said that the resources are also being repurposed for temporary cash transfers for poor and vulnerable households, school meals for children of vulnerable families, and support farmers and small businesses.
President Gotabaya Rajapaksa pointed out the need to implement languages and vocational training programs targeting those available opportunities. And the President made these remarks at a discussion held at the President's house this morning to review the progress of the program to direct the skilled workers to foreign employment markets.
There are many job vacancies in countries including Japan, Poland and Romania for skilled workers in various fields. The President pointed out that in the face of the current economic setback, special attention should be paid to generating foreign exchange as well as seizing foreign employment opportunities. By producing skilled workers, more opportunities can be created for the highest paying careers. There is a high demand for nursing in many countries, including Europe. The Bureau of Foreign Employment estimates that there are more than 350,000 job vacancies in elderly care and catering industry in Japan alone. Knowledge of the Japanese language is mandatory in this regard. The President said that Japanese language programs should be implemented immediately with the participation of private and public sectors, including the National Apprentice and Industrial Training Authority, the Vocational Training Authority and the Foreign Employment Bureau. Special attention was paid to the removal of barriers faced by any person currently in the public service or an employee recruited under the multi-purpose scheme when leaving for foreign employment. Foreign Employment Promotion Minister Manu Shananayakara said that the opportunity should be made available.
The Samagi Janabalawega reiterates on the need on a procedure based on political changes in order to restore the economy.
The SJB has expressed its opinions in this regard while presenting its economic program today. Opposition leader Sajith Premadasa said that they have the potential to implement an efficient program to resolve the economic crisis of the country. He added that they have a team of able individuals to carry forward their program.
දක්ෂ කණ්ඩායම අප සතුව තිබෙන. ආර්ථික පුනර්ජීවය වගේම මේ රටේ ප්‍රශ්නවලට මූලාශ්‍රය වුණු මූලික දේශපාලන ගැටලු වලටත් විසඳුම් ලබා දීම අප ක්‍රියාත්මක කර යුතු වෙනවා.
MP Kabir Hashim said that we are able to receive assistance from the international community only if we have a stable and legal government acceptable to them. Therefore, all in Parliament must join hands to establish an all-party national government. He has called upon to commence discussions on the 21st Amendment. The parliamentarian further said that they believe that what is important is to implement a common program.
සංශෝධනය පදනම් කරලා මේ සාකච්ඡා ආරම්භ කරලා සියලු දෙනා එකතු කරගෙන එක පොදු වැඩපිළිවෙලකට යන එක මේ වෙලාවේදී වැදගත් කියලා අපි විශ්වාස කරනවා. නිකන් ඇත්ත ප්‍රශ්නයට විසඳුමක් නැතුව ව්‍යුහාත්මක වෙනසක් ඇති කරන්නේ නැතුව මෙහෙම මුලාවක් කරනවා නම් කිසිසේත් අපට ඒකේ කොටස්කරුව වෙන්න නම් බෑ.
MP Dr. Harsha De Silva said that they have created their program with the intention of implementing it through their own government. He added that does not mean that if the present government is going to implement this program, that they are going to obstruct the government. He further said that Sri Lanka needs to be amalgamated with the global community. Parliamentarian D.B. Herath of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna says that the process of the 21st constitutional amendment has begun.
He made these remarks at a media briefing held in Colombo today. Parliamentarian D.B. Herath said that 21st Amendment is being presented through joint collaboration of the President and the Prime Minister. He added that they must discuss in Parliament the people's opinion regarding the revision and to find out whether it is suited to the country. Thereafter, a decision has to be taken regarding the amendment. It needs cabinet approval as well. Any person could go to the courts and challenge the amendment. Therefore, all issues pertaining to the process should be carried out in a sense of transparency. The MP further said that roadside protests for the resignation of the President is not valid. There is a method for constitutional revision through the consent of the Parliament. Parliamentarian Vimal Veeravansha says it has been decided to set up a new political alliance comprising of 11 former government parties who have become independent. The MP has expressed opinion to the media after a discussion with the members of the 11 parties last evening. MP Vimal Veeravansha said that it has been decided to set up a legal alliance through a party unity. The aim is to overcome political challenges and the economic crisis in the country. The parliamentarian further said that the new program will be commenced to fulfill the opposition involvement in the government programs. Commenting on the new cabinet of ministers, the MP has stated that the country would turn into anarchy in the absence of government control. Therefore, strong state mechanisms are needed. Vimal Veeravansha further said that if there are any attempts to drag the economic downturn, the cooperation of their party will not be extended for such attempts. The MP also said that they are hoping to extend support by staying in the opposition.
කිසිසේත්ම සහයෝගය දෙන්න බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එසේ නොවෙනවා නම් අපට අපේ සහයෝගය විපක්ෂයේ සිට ලබා දීමේ හැකියාව තිබෙනවා. ඒ පිළිබඳ විවාදයක් නැහැ.
ඔබ පිළිබඳව අදහසක් සමාජය යනවා.
මට මම පිළිබඳව එහෙම අදහසක් නැහැ. සමාජයට එහෙම අදහසක් තියෙන්න පුළුවන්.
ඊයේ අමාත්‍ය මණ්ඩලයට ඉදිරිපත් කරපු 21 වන ආණ්ඩුක්‍රම ව්‍යවස්ථා සංශෝධනයේ කෙටුම්පතක් අධිකරණ අමාත්‍ය විජේදාස රාජපක්ෂ මැතිතුමා විසින් අපේ පක්ෂ නායකයන්ට එවලා තියෙනවා.
MP Udayagamman Pillai said that the Minister of Justice has forwarded party leaders a draft of the 21st Amendment submitted to the Cabinet. He added that the Prime Minister will preside over a discussion on this issue next Friday. He also said a discussion between the Prime Minister and leaders of 10 parties is scheduled for tomorrow. Opinions have been expressed at several media briefings in Colombo today regarding the immense burdens faced by the general public in the country due to increasing cost of living. President of the Trade Union Employees Association, Vasantha Samarasinghe, said that people have been compelled to remain in queues in order to sustain themselves. The situation is aggravating day by day. The working class has been subjected into grave difficulties. He added that the government is not making an effort to alleviate the condition. Vasantha Samarasinghe further said that the people could not afford to pay 420 or 450 rupees for a litre of fuel. He has inquired as to how the people could live under such a situation. The appalling condition is applicable to all those in the state, private and plantation sectors. The Colombo High Court has ordered today to release on bail businessman Muhammad Ibrahim and another suspect. The order has been delivered by the Colombo High Court Judge Navaratna Marasinghe. Muhammad Ibrahim is the father of the two suicide bombers who had been imprisoned over the attack on Easter Sunday. Ibrahim was arrested over concealing information to the police even after receiving news on the Easter Sunday terror attack. The other suspect released on bail was Muhammad Hijaz. Passports of both suspects have been impounded and they were asked to report to the CID in the first and final Sunday of every month. The judge has also ordered to release each suspect at a cash bail of 200,000 rupees and also on 3 surety bills of 1 million rupees each. The judge has given the order by taking into special consideration of the fact that the suspects have been placed under detention for a period of nearly 3 years as well as their health conditions. Muhammad Ibrahim's son, Muhammad Ilham, and Muhammad Insaf had been accused of engaging in suicide bomb attacks at the Cinnamon Grand and Shangri-La hotels.
Today is the 46th day of protests in front of the President's office in Goldface Green.
People were engaged in agitations at the location last night as well, and suspects including parliamentarians who have been placed under detention in connection with the attack on the 9th were produced before an identification parade today. Our correspondent says that in addition to agitations through shouting of slogans, other features including film exhibitions and music programs could also be witnessed at the site. The police says more than 1,700 suspects have been taken into custody in connection with island-wide disturbances, including launching an attack at the site of protest on the 9th. Police media spokesman SSP Nihal Talduwa said that police has so far received complaints relating to 852 incidents of violence and unruly behavior throughout the island, including in Goldface. 117 suspects have been arrested yesterday alone. 32 suspects have been placed under detention after producing before the judiciary. Accordingly, total number of suspects arrested has increased to 1,708. The total number of suspects placed under detention is 751. The CID has also arrested 25 suspects upon conducting of investigations. 8 suspects, including parliamentarians placed under detention, have participated in an identification parade over the incidences of attacking agitations in front of the temple trees and the Goldface Green on the 9th of this month. They have been produced according to an order of Colombo Fort Magistrate Tilina Gamage. Suspects, including parliamentarians Sanath Nishanta and Milan Jayatilaka as well as Dan Priyasad, were produced before the parade. The magistrate has thereafter ordered to further detain the 6 suspects, including the 2 parliamentarians, till the 1st of next month. An order has also been given to place under detention until the 27th of this month 6 more suspects who were scheduled to be produced before an identification parade. The magistrate has also ordered to release on bail 3 male suspects and a female suspect who have not been identified by the witnesses at today's identification parade. Meanwhile, the Colombo Fort Magistrate, considering a request made by the Attorney General, has instructed the IGP to show cause regarding not giving a transfer to senior DIG in charge of the Western Province, Deshabandhu Tennakon. Several people's organizations were engaged in a silent protest in front of the Fort Magistrate in Colombo, demanding to immediately arrest those engaged in an attack at the Goldface protest site. A group of social media activists have been convened before the Criminal Investigation Department today to record statements. Social media activist Darshan Handurgada was also among them. The national television has been accorded the official broadcasting rights of the cricket tournament between the touring Australian and Sri Lankan teams. Australia is to engage in a comprehensive cricket tournament in Sri Lanka since the year 2016. The tournament includes 3 T20 fixtures, 5 one-day internationals and 2 test matches. The first T20 will take place at the R. Premadasa Cricket Stadium on the 7th of next month. The first ODI will be conducted at the Pallekele International Cricket Stadium on the 14th of next month. The first test match will commence at the Goldface International Cricket Stadium on the 29th of next month. The tournament is scheduled to conclude on the 12th of July.
Rajarata farmers say they are facing a situation which made it difficult for them to engage in cultivations due to inability to receive chemical fertilizer and fuel in adequate quantities. They reiterate that the government should provide a speedy solution to their problem if they are to carry forward their farming at the appropriate time.
Steps have been taken to provide irrigation facilities for 22 acres of land under the Min-Area Farmer Settlement Scheme. Accordingly, large extent of paddy lands in the Yalla season will be cultivated. 4,500 farmer families are engaged in farming. Agricultural authorities say steps have been taken to issue water continuously for 30 days. Thereafter, water will be provided according to an installment basis. A media briefing to enlighten the problems faced by farmers in the Anuradhapura district during the Yalla season was held recently in the presence of Anuradhapura Irrigation Farmers Organisation.
Measures have been taken to prevent the occurrence of illegal activities in the North Sea. The Sri Lankan Navy and the Indian Coast Guard Force are engaged in a joint program in this regard. The Sri Lankan Navy has strengthened security in the area from Thalaimannar to Kankesanthare in Sri Lanka. The Indian Coast Guard Force has taken measures to strengthen security in the southern and western coastal areas in the state of Tamil Nadu. The main objective is to prevent illegal Sri Lankan migrants leaving for India. Both countries have decided to strengthen security in the recent past in order to control drug racketeering and other illicit trades. The operations have also enabled to minimize fishing disputes between the two countries.
Here are more local news items in brief. Minister of Mass Media, Transport and Highways Bandula Gunawardena was engaged in an observation tour in the Department of Railways today. The minister has inspected railway train compartments stationed at the port of Colombo, which were imported from India. Newly appointed Secretary to the Ministry of Mass Media, Anusha Palpita, has commenced duties today. He has functioned in the post of Secretary to the Ministry of Mass Media previously as well. A group including government officials were present at this occasion. Newly appointed Secretary to the Ministry of Education, M. Nihal Ranasinghe, has also assumed duties today. A group including Minister Susil Premchand has also attended the event. The Colombo Fort Magistrate has ordered to postpone further hearings till the 21st of September in the case filed against parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa. The MP has been charged over criminal misappropriation of funds amounting to 70 million rupees obtained from a company named Krish under the pretext of developing the sport of rugby. The case, which was filed during the period of previous government of good governance, was heard before Fort Magistrate Thilinagamage today. It has been reported that around 20 acres of land have been destroyed by a fire in the Nitola Mountain Protectorate in the Vallavaya last evening. Spread of the fire has been controlled by this morning. One person was injured in a clash of a van and a lorry in Nugathalawa in the Valley-Madanuwara road. A person was killed in wild elephant attack in Pahala Maraga, however, in Nochiagama. The wild official says cutting of trenches to trap elephants has been halted due to a protest of environmentalists.
Former State Minister Dr. Gunapala Ratnasekara has visited his house yesterday, which was set on fire. The house was destroyed on the 10th of this month. The residence of the former State Minister is located near the Hettipula town. Dr. Ratnasekara said that damages have been made to his party office as well. He added that he had entered politics while engaging in honorary employment in order to serve the country. The group, including the former State Minister, has also visited a business place in Hettipula town, which was also destroyed by setting on fire. The destroyed building belongs to a Pradeshya Sabha member. We'll be back with foreign news after this short break.
And on foreign news, an 18-year-old gunman fatally shot 19 children and 2 teachers at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, before he was killed by law enforcement officers, officials said.
It is the deadliest shooting at a school since the Sandy Hook massacre in Connecticut in 2012 that left 26 people dead, including 20 children. All fatalities and injuries took place inside one classroom at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, according to Chris Olivares, spokesperson for the Texas Department of Public Safety. The shooter barricaded himself in one room, killing 2 teachers and 19 children, he said. As the shooting was taking place, officers were going around the school, breaking windows and trying to evacuate children and staff. They were then able to force entry into the classroom where the shooter was. All the victims have been removed, identified, and the families have been notified, the lieutenant said. Multiple children were wounded inside the classroom, according to Olivares.
And meanwhile, Russia has urged the Western nations to remove its economic sanctions to allow Ukraine to export their food products. Russian authorities have said that until the sanctions prevail, ports held under Russian authority will not allow Ukrainian ships to export their food products. The International Monetary Fund has warned that surging food and energy prices stoked by the war in Ukraine may lead to social unrest in Africa. The organization further said that most countries south of the Sahara are already seeing a slowdown in economic growth from last year due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and the impact will be amplified by the rising cost of cereals and fuel. The war in Ukraine has triggered a sharp increase in energy and food prices that could undermine food security in the region.
Terima kasih, Pantan.
Welcome back. And in sports news, we'll take a look at the third day of the second test series of cricket between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka.
The match is being played at the Sheribangla Cricket Stadium in Mirpur. Dhananjali Silva and Angelo Matthews have maintained a 102-run partnership for the fifth wicket. Dhananjay was out for 58 runs, recording his 10th half-century in Test cricket. Matthews, who remains unbeaten with 58 runs, has also recorded his 38th half-century in his Test career. Bangladesh has scored 365 runs in their first innings.
Forcing shot of the in Test cricket to go with his 800s.
Sri Lankan cricket has taken measures to extend financial aid amounting to $2 million to the Sri Lankan health sector. $1 million of the funds will be provided to the Late Ridgeway Children's Hospital for the procurement of medical facilities and medicines. The Sri Lankan cricket has also decided to present $1 million to the Maharagama Cancer Hospital. The Executive Committee of the Sri Lankan cricket, which met yesterday, has approved the $2 million financial aid package.
In further sports news, we'll take a look at the IPL tournament, where the Gujarat Titans were able to qualify for the finals after beating the Rajasthan Royals.
The Rajasthan Royals team has scored 188.
That's all the news for today. Join